With the way Volume 7 ended off, it's pretty apparent that Neo isn't exactly happy with her current partner in crime, considering she just handed over one of the great powers of the world, the Relic of Knowledge, and Cinder didn't even say so much as a thank you. Considering Cinder's track record with trying to obtain both relics and other maiden powers, Neo's 1-for-1 on the relic. I think a thank you would have sufficed. But with this being the case, it seems pretty likely that Neo's gonna stab Cinder in the back come Volume 8. Whether literally stabbing her in the back, which would be quite satisfying to see, or just metaphorically and abandoning Cinder's faction, we're not exactly sure. I honestly doubt it would be literally stabbing Cinder in the back, as Neo is quite aware that Cinder is a maiden. And because of that, she's outmatched, so if Neo didn't get the kill shot on Cinder right away, it would turn into a bad situation very quickly. But even if Neo is able to abandon Cinder and pursue her own goals, probably of attacking RWBY, there's also the chance that Cinder might straight up go out and attack Neo, because she doesn't take very kindly to people wronging her. Case in point, she really wants to go after RWBY, and even though Salem has forbidden it, she's trying to find a loophole, pursuing her own goals, not really giving much regard to what other people think, etc. It's also quite likely that Cinder might just toss Neo aside because, well, now that Cinder has the relic and can get back into Salem's good graces, she may figure that she doesn't need Neo anymore. Either way, once Neo leaves Salem's faction, whether she does actually go to attack RWBY and is successful in that conflict or not, she's going to have somewhere to go, someone to turn to, because currently, other than Cinder, she doesn't have anyone, which, I mean, Cinder doesn't really count as she's only using her as a pawn, so Neo doesn't really have anyone to turn to. Now, I think that Roman Torchwick is definitely alive in the world of Remnant, but he may not be reintroduced for Volume 8. I really want him to. Watch my video that I made earlier this week on Roman Torchwick's return, because there's more evidence to support that he's alive, etc. But Rooster Teeth may decide not to bring him back for Volume 8. There's another scenario that I might like just as much as Roman's return, and that involves Penny. I think Penny and Neo could actually form a very close connection, and they could become really good friends, and they could rely on each other. They have, I think, gone through similar situations at various times throughout their lives. We don't know Neo's backstory. I think we're going to get that in Volume 8 as well, but also with their lore, I think they have some connections. Now, in the video I made on Roman Torchwick, I went into the lore that he's based off of. He is also based on a character from the Pinocchio story. You know, Pinocchio, what Penny Polendina is based on, and her creator, Geppetto, is what Pietro's based on. Roman Torchwick is based on the character Romeo Candlewick, a character from the Pinocchio story that is actually Pinocchio's best friend. Now, I don't really see Penny Polendina and Roman Torchwick becoming the best of friends. Even though they do share a hair color, I don't really think that they would have the personalities that would really connect. But Neo, on the other hand, I think Neo, now that she's pretty much carrying on Roman Torchwick's will, could actually become very close friends with Penny. If we look back at the Brunswick farms, which a lot of people, myself included, are starting to believe that Neo and Roman are actually from there, considering in the picture we see a young girl and a ginger-headed boy who could be Neo and Roman, as well as Bartleby's journals being in Roman numerals and having the volumes 1, 3, 6, and 8, respectively. Like, it seems likely that there might be a connection. Volume 1, where Roman was first introduced. Volume 3, where Roman ended up dying, which I still don't think is the case. Volume 6 is where we see Neo showing up, carrying on Roman's will in the form of his hat, going for revenge, trying to avenge his death, etc. And Volume 8 is where we will see Neo kind of abandon that vendetta, I believe. Let go of the past, maybe realizing that it was Roman's way of life that ended up getting him killed. Because, you know, lying, cheating, stealing, and just working in the underworld to survive, not really the best way of going about things. So I think if she does come face to face with Penny, Penny will be able to talk her out of that, and that this isn't the correct path for you to follow. You don't need to go this way. You know, I don't think, we haven't seen at least, Neo straight up kill anyone or do anything that's unforgivable, though Rooster Teeth has kind of hinted that Neo is going to do something that the fandom won't really like, but we haven't really seen that just yet, other than trying to stab Oscar in the head and beating the crap out of him. That may have been it, and taking the relic. Not 100% sure, but to me, she hasn't done anything absolutely unforgivable yet. So there's still a way to redeem her. And Penny and Neo, I think, do have a lot in common. Penny, considering she's an artificial creation that the people of Mantle have also been calling for her to be dismantled throughout Volume 7, you know, she's gone through a solitude that I don't think anyone she has encountered up until this point can actually understand or even come close to comprehending, because no one has felt that seclusion. But Neo, I think, has felt at least some form of seclusion that might be similar. Not the exact same, of course, because Neo's not an artificial human being, etc. But I think that in Neo's past, as well as currently, she feels very alone. And I think that is something that Penny really could relate to, and that Neo could relate to Penny. Because Neo's semblance, the overactive imagination, if we just look at what it actually is, she can turn her dreams into reality, but at the slightest nudge or the slightest crack that appears in them, they shatter before her very eyes. When it's described like that, it seems almost sad. Like, if she developed this as a child, this would be probably something of, you know, severe loneliness that would cause her soul to manifest this, where she's very alone and wants her dreams to become reality so she doesn't feel so alone. That's at least my thinking, at least, or the path that my mind follows. And then eventually, when she maybe got to Brunswick Farms, Roman Torchwick rescued her if she got lost in the woods, and she felt very alone that way, and she became very close to Roman close to her. But now that Roman is gone and out of her life, again, I still think he's alive in Remnant, but currently Neo is alone. And I think her and Penny would be able to relate very well, feeling this seclusion. And it would be a perfect opportunity now that Penny is on RWBY's side, with Ruby and Weiss and everyone, as they're probably going to have to re-infiltrate Mantle and Atlas to, one, get the Relic of Creation at some point to hopefully get it away from Salem, but also to try to stop Salem and her forces from killing everyone or taking over the entire kingdom. But that type of thing, Penny will probably be alongside RWBY. So if Neo does break away from Cinder's faction and go to attack RWBY, Penny will be there and will probably try to talk to her, like, why are you doing this? And, you know, searching her feelings, trying to get what Neo's feeling, because that seems to be something that Penny is very keen on doing, is finding out why people are taking certain actions. Not to mention, it was specifically said between RWBY and Penny in their conversation in episode 5, RWBY asked Penny, have you had the chance to make any new friends? And Penny said, no, I haven't. General Ironwood says I have no time for that. Well, now that she's finally abandoned Ironwood's faction, Penny can now make new friends. And I think Neo is possibly what exactly they were implying. Now, there is another situation that I see unfolding, which is very sad, but I feel I have to mention it, is that if Neo does try to abandon Cinder, and Cinder catches on to this and hunts Neo down and attacks her, Neo probably would be able to escape because of her semblance. It's possible that Cinder might try to just eliminate her right out of the gate without Neo even trying to leave. Just, you know, Cinder is kind of a loose cannon, but Neo could end up injured, wounded, and alone in Mantle somewhere. And while RWBY and Penny and everyone are sneaking back into the city, Penny might just stumble across her. Neo just down, alone, scared possibly, and just not in a good state. And Penny might actually just rescue her. Again, similar to the lore in Pinocchio, Pinocchio did try to save Romeo, or Romeo Candlewick, from the state that he was left in. He was transformed into a donkey and put to work at a farm, etc. But, you know, that is separate from this. I think it would, one way or another, Penny and Neo are going to come in contact, and I think it would be actually kind of sweet to see those two become friends. See Neo open up to Penny, Penny open up more, actually having someone she can relate to. I know she's really close friends with Ruby, that's never going to change, but Ruby can't really relate to that side of Penny, etc. So I think this might be a good way for Neo to actually switch sides, join, maybe not necessarily the main cast, although I would love that, but at least Penny, and maybe they'll end up forming a new team if they get CL Soliel perhaps back, as well as another member. Maybe they can form a team that way, or maybe Penny, Neo, and Winter could carry on the remains of Atlas and try to stay and rebuild, or something like that, but I'm starting to ramble now. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Do you think Neo and Penny would actually have a pretty close relationship if they were to actually get in contact and not just straight up attack each other right out of the gate? Because I know Penny, even if Neo was attacking her, would probably be questioning, why are you doing this? Why do you think this is the right path for you, etc. So let me know in the comments down below if you have anything else to add that makes this seem more likely or anything like that. I'd be really interested to hear your thoughts. Also, don't forget to vote in the Best Girl poll that is currently going on. If you would like to support either of these two lovely ladies or any of the other girls in the RWBY series, you get to vote for your top 3. It is currently going on until midnight on March 4th, Eastern Standard Time. Plenty of time to vote. We had almost 1,500 voters in the first 24 hours, so the results are shaping up pretty well. And if you'd like to support your best girls, by all means, use the link in the description below. Go there and vote for your top 3. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you have not already and want to see some more RWBY content. Tweet me at Phoenix Knight 7, and I'll see you guys in the next video.